right? We are up to our marriage coach tool, I believe, number 10. Hopefully I get it right this time. And today we are speaking about blaming. Ooh, that's a big one. I have couples calling me all the time and telling me, yeah, he did that, yes, she did that. We blame the other all the time. And yes, of course, that might be true, and they might do, but the truth is, the way to fix a marriage is by fixing yourself. If we wait for the other one to change, we're gonna lose. It doesn't work like that. So what do? You have to say, okay, what do I do wrong? And if you don't find anything wrong with you, there's a problem. Come to me, I'll tell you what you're doing wrong. Or ask your spouse and they'll tell you what you do wrong, right? Stop blaming. The only one you blame is yourself. If you transform yourself into someone and you try to be the best you can be, you think about, okay, what doesn't she like? What doesn't he like? And work on those things, you're gonna see the person is gonna change, and you won't need to blame anymore. But if we do the blaming game, then already we're focused on the other. When in a marriage, the key is to focus on yourself, work on yourself. What can I do for the other? Not what the other can do for me. This is wrong. You have to be able to be self-sustaining, so to speak. Self-care, love yourself, and not rely on the other for the love. Obviously, there's expectation in the real relationship that the other one's gonna give love, but the more you are gonna love the other, the more the other one is gonna love you. So that's the real work. Now, one tool that I advise, it's a wonderful tool if you are serious enough to do it, and I hope you can do it. It's an amazing tool. You make a list of the 10 things that you know the other one wants. I mean, you ask the other. That's the best. Ask the other. What are the 10 most important things that you want me to do for you? So you make a list of 10 things. It has to be very precise. Let's say, oh, I want you to show me more love. No. Say, that's too general. Say, I want you to tell me I love you at least once a day. I want you that when you come back home at night, you give me a hug. That's the or I want you to prepare me dinner every day. Okay, so when you make a list of 10 things and you and then you give it to each other, but you write in order. What are the most important first? The 5 most important, and then the 5. Now you give it to the other. You don't expect. You give it to each other. You both have to do it. Otherwise, it doesn't work. You both have to do it, and then you look at it, and you're not expecting the other one to do it, but you hope obviously the other one do it. And what each one does is looks at the 10, say, okay, that's I'm not ready to do that now. This I'm gonna try to do this week. And whenever things come and you check the ones who are the most important, so you try to work on the most important and say that's what's the most precious, that's most important for the other. That's how the other person brings the feel love. So when you do that, the other person is gonna notice most of the time. If he doesn't notice, you can tell them, hey, by the way, I did that because I love you. And even though it's a paper and she had to say it or he had to say it, it's not genuine yet. He's still doing an act that shows you that I want to show you love. I want to love you, and I know you want that, so I'm going to do it. So at the beginning, it might not be like natural, but eventually it's going to become natural because he does it when he or she does it again and again. It's going to be part of them. And make sure you notice that when the other does it and thank them for doing it with a lot of love. So no blaming game. If you want to blame someone, do it yourself. If you want to work on something on marriage, ask yourself, what can I do for the other? If you don't know what you're doing wrong, ask your spouse, and if you don't know how to fix a certain problem, then ask your rabbi or your therapist or your social worker or whatever, and hopefully they will help you on how to focus on fixing your problems. And yes, so no blaming game, only loving game.